when I was giving a lot of academic talks, I had the strategy that for this final slide, when I solicited questions from the audience, if I had something that was jarring or otherwise distracting, I would get fewer difficult questions, and it actually was a very successful strategy.
I thought it was going to be like a teaching tool, but it's the opposite.
Yeah, when you're at a conference, you don't want some professor from some university you don't know asking you some question that is really beyond the scope of the project.
On your own.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying, like, I don't know, or this, but you don't give them something a little fun to play with. This is Dalí, 1958, Ascension of Christ, I think is its title. But yeah, there's a lot going on. And like I said, I didn't sit with this one. I forgot about the face until just now. I found the better image on Reddit up at the top. So, the perspective, I think, is really great, and obviously conspicuously absent are the stigmata. I was actually going to ask Jonathan about any significance of that, but he gets a lot of attention for his very, surreal stuff, things like that, and I think it does overshadow that he was actually an extremely talented painter.
Yeah. Honestly, it's what's crazy. I feel like this is the first Dalí that I've seen that I like, but I like it a lot. I don't think I've seen any of them anywhere near anything like this. That face coming through the clouds or whatever that is insane. I also liked his hands. His hands are kind of like. Like he's being somehow maybe not tortured, but contorted.
Sure. Yeah, almost like he's being electrified or something. I mean, I guess you'd fully grip if you were actually, but like a depiction of agony of some sort.
Yeah.
Like he's not.
What? I'm sorry. What is this? Was this called the
Ascension of Christ?
Ascension.
Yeah. So he's like going back up. Presumably.
And what's this in the background? Can whoever's doing this, can you on the yellow
over here
looking thing?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah. So this is kind of a source of speculation. What does it look like to you? What's your, I'm curious.
It makes me think of like a fruit. Like I said, like, dragon fruit or something. I'm assuming it's not that because it doesn't look exactly like that, but
yeah, so I took notes for the other ones. I didn't look up anything about this one either. I don't know if he intended it to be something specific, but I've heard people describe it like the texture that like a peach can have if it's already sinewy and then you cut it and you can see this, like you cut it across the sinews. Also, it kind of like sunflower-esque, but the seeds are the wrong color. Porridge, tapioca.
What it reminds me of is this mystical view of God as like the literal pattern and shape of the universe that like time and being is extruding out of and being formed by. There's this way that's like almost the code of the universe, like those patterns like that or something.
Well, that's interesting that you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean. I thought you were.
I was just gonna say, but like having it, me not knowing what it is, almost helps make it more stand in for the abstract part of what it is. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's interesting that you say that because I more I was looking at it, more it kind of looks like convection, of like a really. Or like clouds that are billowing through, but there's a lot of it, and it's just like a huge amount of material moving forward through us to us. And that is paired really well with those feet, which, like you said, that perspective is, as the holistic look of it, it certainly comes together to be really powerful.
Yeah, the way the feet are obviously longer than the legs are thick, but then you can see, concavity of the stomach, considerable concavity, and then the rib cage being really pronounced. And for me, looking at this again, like the setting is just so bizarre because down here it looks like the ocean to me, but it's also everything else is so weird. I don't think it's specifically the ocean, and then it fades off like into a horizon or something, and this could be a sky. But then this section up here, it almost looks like looking downward from a cliff, like if we were at the top of the Martin and looking down, this is what the landscape would look like, and just like smoke billowing or something.
Yeah.
But then on this side, it almost looks like you're looking up, and these are peaks. But then also they could be energy emanating from his hand as well. And these like kind of, is this light coming down from this bird? Is this wings? Oh, sorry, I'm pointing at the screen share instead of at the image while I'm describing it. But yeah, this side, like this to me, like looks like looking down, whereas this looks like looking up.
Right.
What are
really
these?
cool.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's the color scheme or what, but it definitely makes me think of some William Blake type stuff too, because he was so wild and out there as well.
I have a few thoughts I want to share.
Yeah.
The ocean, at the beginning of the Bible, and this is like common across, I think, all Near Eastern religions of that time, that God doesn't actually begin in a vacuum. There's the waters, he flies over the waters, and the waters of chaos. So he like builds the firmament that holds the waters of chaos away, and Leviathan is in the waters. And there's almost a way that those primordial waters are here. It feels, even like how it goes into blackness, it feels like we're just in these primordial waters of chaos that then this stuff is structured over.
Well, it's interesting too that this orb, this circle behind Christ, is dipped into the water. If you look at the very bottom there, it's actually it's in the water. But then you also have the heaven circle of the dove that is kind of overlapping, and then like in the very center of those, you got Christ. That's really cool, Jim. I'm so glad you showed us this one, man. I want to go and read about it. I've never seen this ever in my life.
Yeah. And just like commenting back here, like that, like this, the circle seems to represent heaven, or like some sort of the passage up to heaven or something, and it takes, like, you could see it as the inside of a tube from here, but that it is not overlapping with whatever the yellow fruit-like thing is an odd thing to include. It's like those are different things, so it kind of begs me to ask, like, what is, makes me even more curious about the lumpy stuff.
What if the lumpy stuff is Earth? And he's risen above Earth, and this is just a, I don't know, a stylized depiction of Earth.
Interesting. Yeah. And then I noticed that the person receiving him, well, there's the Holy Spirit, and above the Holy Spirit is a woman.
Right.
Presumably Mary, or because she is crying. But then it to me, it really speaks to this sort of dogma bending kind of perception of, like, this sort of feminine God feeling to it. I don't know.
Yeah, and also, it is interesting that, like, the bird, often the Holy Spirit is depicted as a bird, is in the area that seems like it represents heaven, but she is not.
Right, right. It has me wonder too. It's almost like she's Sophia. It almost feels like a Gnostic move there to have her.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's wicked, man.
That's a sick pen.
Yeah, but you might imagine, showing that people are like, "What the hell is that?" Instead of like, "Tell me how you coded this specific part of the data analysis."
Right.